The year is 9 AD. Rome stands as the mightiest empire the world has ever seen, its legions stretching from the sands of Egypt to the misty highlands of Britannia. For Emperor Augustus, expansion is synonymous with power, and the untamed lands beyond the Rhine River are a tantalizing prospect. Germania, home to fierce tribes, offers wild forests and unpredictable rivers, unlike the cultivated lands of the empire. Augustus dreams of transforming these lands into a province of Rome, yet he has heard whispers of resistance. In Germania, the tribes do not bow to Rome. For centuries, they have lived free, unbound by the laws of any emperor. Among them, a young warrior named Arminius rises. Once a hostage in Rome and a soldier in the Roman army, Arminius knows the empire well. He has donned their armor, spoken their tongue, and studied their tactics. Yet, his heart belongs to the untamed land of his birth. Returning to Germania, he dreams of uniting the tribes and driving out the invaders who have marched into their forests. Under the guise of an ally, Arminius earns the trust of General Varus, who is tasked with consolidating Roman control over Germania. Varus, a seasoned but prideful commander, trusts Arminius, seeing him as a useful intermediary between Rome and the Germanic tribes. Arminius conceals his hatred well, knowing that only through deception can he lead Rome into the heart of Germania and to its doom. 2. Setting the stage for battle. When Varus receives reports of unrest among the tribes, he decides to act swiftly. Believing in Rome's invincibility, he marches 3 legions, nearly 20,000 men, into the depths of Germania. Arminius assures him that the tribes are vulnerable and suggests a route through the dense Teutoburg forest. As they march, the legions grow weary, their bright red cloaks and polished armor dulled by mud and rain. The soldiers complain, cursing the relentless drizzle, the thick undergrowth, and the endless maze of trees. The Germanic warriors, hidden within the forest, watch silently, preparing for the signal to attack. Arminius, always a step ahead, instructs his people to wait until the Romans are deep within the forest, where escape or reinforcement would be impossible. Varus, unaware of the trap, presses onward. Despite his men's complaints, he sees this mission as a way to solidify his place in history. Conquering Germania would elevate him, and the emperor's favor would be his. As the Roman legions press forward, the forest grows darker, the undergrowth thicker, and the paths narrower. Soon they are marching single file, vulnerable to attack. 3. The ambush in the Teutoburg forest. 3. The ambush in the Teutoburg forest. In the heart of Teutoburg, the first blow falls. A chilling battle cry rises from the depths of the trees as arrows rain down upon the Romans, their gleaming armor offering little protection against the hail of death. Germanic warriors emerge from the shadows, armed with spears, axes, and the fury of generations who have resisted Rome's control. Caught by surprise, the Roman legions struggle to defend themselves. Varus tries to rally his men, but the terrain works against them. Used to open fields and organized formations, the Romans find themselves hemmed in by trees, their disciplined ranks breaking into chaos as warriors attack from every side. The Germans strike fast and then vanish into the woods, appearing elsewhere moments later to strike again. As the battle rages, panic spreads among the Roman soldiers. They shout in confusion, barely able to see their enemies amidst the dense trees and the rain-soaked underbrush. Many fall, their cries lost in the cacophony of battle, their blood mingling with the rain. Some Romans attempt to form defensive lines, but they are isolated, easy targets for the swift-moving Germanic warriors. Arminius watches, his face hardened as he witnesses the destruction he has wrought upon the army that once trained him. 4. The struggle and the heroism of Varus. Varus, amidst the chaos, refuses to abandon his men. He knows that defeat is inevitable, but honor demands he stand with his soldiers. His commanders suggest retreat, but there is no clear path, and the Germanic forces have already cut off their route back to the Rhine. With determination, he urges his men to hold their ground, shouting words of encouragement that ring hollow in the face of relentless attacks. The soldiers rally around Varus, many clinging to him as a final symbol of Roman strength. They attempt to fortify their positions, using fallen branches and shields to form makeshift defenses. Yet, each attempt is met with ferocious resistance. The Germanic warriors break through each line, showing no mercy, their war cries echoing in the hearts of the Romans like the call of doom itself. For hours, the Romans struggle, every moment filled with the sound of metal against metal, cries of pain, and the relentless downpour that turns the forest floor into a muddy quagmire. Exhausted, wounded, and disheartened, the Romans fight with the courage of the damned, knowing that survival is a distant hope. 5. Arminius' inner conflict. As the battle reaches its peak, Arminius finds himself face to face with the remnants of the Roman forces. He sees in them the discipline and bravery he once admired. In Rome, he trained alongside men like these. He remembers friendships forged, meals shared, and victories won under the Roman banner. Yet, the sight of his homeland trampled under Roman feet strengthens his resolve. For too long, Germania has suffered under the weight of the empire. This is a fight for freedom. Still, a pang of regret stirs within him. He knows that he has betrayed men who once called him brother, but he justifies it to himself. To free Germania, some bonds must be broken. Looking over the forest battlefield, he pushes aside his hesitation and orders his men to press forward, to end this once and for all. 6. The fall of Rome's pride. After days of brutal fighting, the Roman legions lie in ruin. Varus, defeated and surrounded, chooses an honorable death, falling on his sword rather than facing capture. His men, those few who remain, scatter in panic, hunted by the Germanic warriors who will allow no Roman to leave the forest alive. The pride of Rome, broken and humbled, is left strewn across the forest floor, a grim testament to the power of a people who refuse to be conquered. Arminius walks among the fallen, his face solemn as he surveys the destruction. For all the glory of victory, there is little joy here. He has won, but the price has been high. His warriors are bloodied, and many friends lie dead. He realizes that though Germania may be free, the land will forever bear the scars of this battle, and his people will remember the cost of resisting Rome. 7. Aftermath and legacy. News of the defeat reaches Rome and sends shockwaves through the empire. Augustus, devastated by the loss of his legions, famously cries out, "Varus, give me back my legions!" The expansion into Germania halts, and the empire's ambitions are tempered by the memory of Teutoburg. The forests beyond the Rhine become a border, a place feared and left untouched by Roman ambition. In Germania, Arminius becomes a legend, a hero who united his people and threw off the shackles of Rome. Though he knows peace will be fleeting, he stands as a symbol of defiance, a leader whose name will echo through the ages. Yet, he also carries the burden of knowing that freedom has come at a great cost, and the blood of many, Roman and Germanic alike, stains the land he fought to protect. The clash between Rome and Germania is over, but its legacy endures, a story of power, resistance, and the fierce will of a people determined to remain free. If you would like, I can continue to add depth and details to the story, gradually building up to the full 6,000 words by expanding each scene further with richer character interactions, dialogue, and additional moments that highlight the emotional and physical toll of the conflict. Let me know if you'd like me to proceed with a specific part or continue building the story as a whole. As the sun rose over Rome, the city gleamed with its ancient stones and towering columns, proud monuments to the empire's might. Emperor Augustus sat in his chamber, studying the maps that detailed every corner of his vast empire. His advisors urged caution, warning of the risks and the untamed savagery of the Germanic tribes. Yet Augustus had a vision: Germania would be another jewel in Rome's crown. He dispatched General Varus, a skilled yet overconfident leader, with orders to bring Germania under Roman rule, once and for all. Augustus knew that Germania was unlike the other lands Rome had conquered. It was a place where rivers ran untamed, forests grew dense and dark, and tribes moved freely, unbound by the rules and structures that Rome held dear. For Varus, This mission was not just about conquest. It was about securing his legacy as the man who would tame the wild heart of Germania. However, he failed to understand the people he was about to face. Their pride, their unity, and the fierce warrior Arminius who would lead them. 2. Arminius returned to Germania. Years before, a young Arminius had stood on Roman soil, dressed in the armor of a Roman soldier, trusted and trained by the very men he now sought to destroy. He remembered the long years of service, the bonds he had made, and the disciplined life that had shaped him. To Rome, he was a barbarian prince, a token of the